If you could please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, we have here today your public hearings. The first one up is Jet 139 with Heather Trojanowski.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ooh, that's on. For the record, Heather Trojanowski, planner for the town of Riverhead. And just for clarification, this application originally came in as the Jets 139 LLC Minor Subdivision. I just wanted to note that the map is now called Manor Lane Subdivision, but the tax map number for this is 600-22-2-12, and it's located at 5753 Sound Avenue in Jamesport. I will also note we received the affidavit of posting and mailing, the receipts for the mailings, and proof that the poster was put up pursuant to town code. So this is a public hearing for the subdivision application, which seeks approval to subdivide a 41.1708 parcel of land into 3 lots. Proposed lot 1 is to contain 2.2333 acres and retain an existing single-family dwelling. Proposed lot 2 will be 33.2433 acres and is actually, they closed with the county to sell the development rights just recently. And proposed lot 3 will contain 5.6912 acres, again located at 5753 Sound Avenue in Jamesport within the APZ zoning use district. If anyone has any questions, we do have Charles Cuddy here as the representative for the applicant.
Anyone?
I have a question, but it's on the next one.
Okay.
Motion to close the hearing.
Did we have anyone on Zoom or members of the public who wanted to come up? Greg, do we have anyone on Zoom for this hearing?
Nobody that is raising their hand.
Okay, and no questions from the board? Perfect.
I'll make the motion again to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It is the Manor Lane Minor Subdivision with Heather Trojanowski.
And once again, this is a minor subdivision application. It was called Manor Lane. The name on the map is Jets 139 LLC. So just for clarification, this is for tax map number 600-8-3-7.3, located at 139 Sound Avenue in Jamesport. We did receive the affidavit of posting and mailing, the receipts, proof that the posters were put up on the property. This is a public hearing for the subdivision application, which seeks approval to subdivide a 5.037 acre parcel into 2 separate lots. Proposed lot 1 is to contain 2.4393 acres, and proposed lot 2 is to contain 2.5977 acres. Again, located at 139 Sound Avenue in Jamesport within the APZ zoning use district. And the subdivision map also includes an existing parcel, which is tax map number 600-8-3-7.4. It's labeled as Lot 3 on the map, which is a 19.6721 acre parcel, and the development rights are currently sold to Suffolk County. So they're just incorporating that into the map to formalize it.
Anybody have any questions?
I have a question. On your, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to make a comment, if I may. First, I just wanted to thank Heather because she helped us greatly with putting these subdivisions together, the 2 of them. But I wanted to point out to the board, and I think the public should know this, that they've taken essentially 65 acres and preserved 53 of them. So essentially, there's 80% of this land that this site is now preserved with farm development rights sold. And I think that's significant to note.
I just think the town of Riverhead, Mr. Cuddy, really appreciates that, from the Chicken Hours family.
This is
Well
an old-
done.
Yeah, it's an
Well
old
done.
farm family that's kept the farms. yeah.
Yep, yep.
Did you have something, Joe?
Yeah,
I move we close the public
I
hearing.
have,
Hold on.
I
Got a
have
question.
On your figure 1, it appears that part of lot 7.3 is also part of the development rights?
No, that might have just been an error on my part when I was highlighting the parcels. The development rights sold parcel is entirely 837.4.
Yeah.
So that's its own tax map number, and then 837.3 is a separate tax map number.
Yeah. Okay, so that line should be up further.
Yeah, it should probably up a little bit further north. The subdivision map itself is accurate. That was done by a licensed surveyor,
Yeah.
so that shows the property lines.
Okay, that's all I had.
Thank you.
Okay, I move we close the public hearing for Manor Lane Minor Subdivision. So moved.
Second.
Second. Vote, please.
Aye.
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 Okay. Next up, discussion items. We have Cadova drive-through restaurant conversion with Heather Trojanowski.
And I think we have a representative for the application here. Come up and just state your name.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacqueline Pronto. I'm with Key Civil Engineering, located at 664 Blue Point Road, Holtzville, New York. Site engineer for the applicant.
Okay. Just a brief overview. This is a site plan application seeking approval to convert an existing 4,268 square foot restaurant into two separate tenancies. One will be for a Cadova drive-through restaurant, and then the other will be for an unspecified sit-down restaurant. In addition, they will be constructing 215 square foot and 107 square foot cooler boxes on the rear of the building. Site improvements include facade renovations, parking lot and paving improvements, which are the site is in dire need of, new site lighting, and a significant amount of landscaping. The subject property is a 40,404 square foot parcel, currently improved with a restaurant building. Everyone is probably familiar with Friendly's. Associated parking, landscape, and lighting. It's located at 949 Old Country Road in Riverhead. It's about 450 feet east of the traffic circle, the intersection of Old Country Road and Roanoke Avenue. It's within the business center zoning use district where restaurants and drive-through windows, which are accessory to restaurant uses, are permitted. The surrounding uses include the hospital and Burger King across the street to the north, KFC directly to the west. So just a brief overview. The proposed improvements, they'll be converting the existing restaurant building, doing a lot of parking lot reconfiguration to accommodate the drive-through. The western portion of the building will be for Cadova. The eastern portion part of the building will be for Cadova with 38 indoor seats and 8 outdoor seats, and also the drive-through. The western portion of the building will be for the unspecified sit-down restaurant with 50 seats. Exterior renovations include a whole new storefront for Cadova, new finishes and decorative elements. And then the western side of the building will be painted to match the gray finishes on the Cadova portion. Obviously, when a tenant comes in, if they look to make additional facade renovations, they'll come back to us for approval and also ARB review. The proposed action is unlisted pursuant to SECRA, with coordinated review being optional and not recommended. So I do have 2 resolutions on today for this project. One to classify SECRA without the need for coordinated review and issue a negative declaration, and then another to schedule a public hearing. So just to go through some of the key points in my staff report. I'll note there's existing cross-access to the KFC property to the west that actually goes all the way out across the other properties to Roanoke Avenue. And this application proposes a future cross-access easement on the southern property boundary, which is it used to be Tire Country. It's now just an auto repair shop. It's an L-shaped parcel, so there's already an access driveway for people to utilize that tire shop, auto repair shop, through the Friendly site on the eastern property boundary. This would just look to create an additional point of cross-access on the southern property boundary. That way, if the site gets built out in the future, there's a little bit better room for circulation. As far as parking is concerned, they are proposing 35 stalls, including 2 accessible stalls. The number of stalls based on the amount of seats that are proposed complies with town code parking requirements. They're also proposed to be 10 by 20, again, which complies with the town code parking requirements. As far as queuing is concerned, I noticed that they show parking for 10 vehicles starting at the order pickup window. I'm not a traffic engineer, nor am I a site designer or representative from Qdoba, so I don't know what their needs are as far as queuing. But I know with Chick-fil-A, the question came up on that site plan where queuing starts, whether it's at the order board, order pickup. I will note that if we were to designate the order board for the queuing, the starting for queuing, there would be enough room for 6 vehicles. So my concern was that if traffic backs up into the parking lot, there might be some conflicting movements. I'm sure Jackie can sort of give a better overview of that because she knows the project.
Because Starbucks has that same problem in Riverhead, because the line gets so long that they lose half their parking spaces.
Yeah, I know they're a
gotta
much
park
busier
the
operation,
way.
I think.
Yeah.
So if you want to go
Sure.
ahead and.
Thank you. I appreciate your report. It was very thorough. Open that up, our site plan. So I went through some of the key points that was in the report. I guess I'll start with the drive-through. So the drive-through is a new concept for Qdoba. There's actually none currently in the Northeast.
What is Qdoba?
It's a Mexican fast food restaurant. It's casual fast, I think, is the term they use. So they, similar to like a Chipotle, I would say, where you would go up and, make your burrito or your taco kind of down the line of your toppings and so forth. So they, the restaurant franchisee that's running the Qdoba are Burger Brothers. They actually operate the Burger King across the street from this location, so you might be familiar with it. They run a very nice and clean operation. I think they've done some improvements on that property as well. So they're looking to develop the Qdobas on Long Island, and this drive-through is a new concept. So the first drive-through that'll be constructed, they've just received approval from the town of Babylon for one in Deer Park. That's looking to open in March of 2025. Also working with them on another one in Babylon and Lindenhurst, which is just starting an approval process, so that might be in 2026. So these would be, this would be the third one in the Northeast, actually, Long Island. So because it is a new concept, there's not a lot of transactional data that's available for them to see how it's going to be utilized, how people are going to feel about using the drive-through, for their concept. They, as I said, operate Burger Kings and have been for many, many years, so they're familiar with, the operations of a drive-through and how it would function. They feel, and I feel, that the drive-through queue is sufficient. We do have a total of 10 from the pickup window, which is very consistent with a lot of the requirements in other surrounding municipalities in terms of what they require for drive-through queues associated with fast food restaurants. I would say this concept is not anywhere near what a Starbucks would generate or what a Chick-fil-A would generate. I did look at providing angled parking. I actually prepared an alternate concept to just see what it would look like. So we currently, along the western property line, we're proposing perpendicular, which is 11 stalls. If I were to angle those parking stalls, I result in 6. So the loss of parking would put me in a variance situation. Right now, our project is as of right, which is how we would like it to be maintained. It also, in my opinion, it might allow some vehicles to be able to back out, but I think it would still have that same concern that the perpendicular parking might, should cars continue to queue around. I think the benefit of where I located the pickup window and the way that we situated the site for the drive-through is that if there was a little bit of a backup, the problem is contained on their property. It's an impact to their own customers and their own parking. It's not going to spill out onto a roadway. It's not going to impact public traffic. So we feel that this is going to work and function adequately. So for those reasons, I also am not a fan of combining two-way and one-way traffic. I find that customers get confused when you have this intermix of one-way and two-way traffic. So my preference is to maintain the two-way traffic around the entire site, especially with all of the cross-access and the way vehicles are coming from the west off Roanoke, et cetera. So our preference would be to maintain the layout as we show.
I will note that as far as the site layout is concerned, this did get referred over to the fire marshal's office, and beyond needing the proper fire marshal construction, and/or fire sprinkler permits, they didn't have any other concerns. So I will note that as far as circulation and fire access is concerned, they were fine with it.
So by your own admission, you were saying, this is a new concept. My question is this, can you double stack these cars side by side? If there's what do we do if you have to go back and get, I don't know, the restaurant, tacos? So what happens? We let the line build up, or do we have enough room for overflow to one side, or do we have to park them? What do you do with
Like
the
if
overflow?
if their product's not ready at the time to
Exactly.
get to the window, yeah, they would be able to make a right. They can U-turn around that island where the 9 parking stalls are, and they can pull into a spot. A lot of fast food restaurants will do that, where they'll provide a spot for the car to park and then, run out with the product.
Okay, how many's on that one side? I don't remember
9.
exactly. There's 9? That's the total? Okay.
Is it handicap parking?
There is handicap parking. We're providing 2.
So, yeah, there's 2 spots.
We have it located on the eastern side. The reason being, I
western
didn't want ADA to have to cross across the drive-through lane.
On the west side?
Yeah, but
I'm sorry,
It's
on the west side.
Yeah, and they
yes.
have an accessible pathway to get to the restaurant and/or the Qdoba.
On your site plan, you're showing future cross-access to the south.
To the south.
But you said it is already there.
No, there's cross-access at the northeast corner of the property.
Yeah, that goes to the
That
tire,
goes into the tire place. I actually had a initial meeting with Heather and Greg when we started the project, and it was the town's recommendation that we provide that future cross-access for, I guess, the potential development of that L property. I think if that L property were to be redeveloped, the southern cross-access is the better location to access that parcel than its current location, because it's very close to our curb cut off Old Country Road. It's not a big user. They don't get a lot of traffic, the tire place, so I think it functions okay now, but should they be redeveloped, I think they should have their cross-access where we're showing
Have they
it.
ever built that structure, that extension?
I don't believe so. I'm assuming
Because
there
that
was prior
was,
site planning.
that was, we allowed for that. Because that would utilize that space and make that space now utilized. No, they were supposed to expand the use of that store. The owner of the property purchased area in the back of it. So that was to be used for cross-access at that time. So
Yeah,
so that's
I don't
never
think-
been done. I didn't
don't
think it
the
was.
extension was ever built on the former Tire Country property.
Yeah.
Right now, they have some vehicles back there, but it's, undeveloped and mainly wooded
Yeah.
on that.
It's
portion.
been like that for a long time. Okay.
Heather, just a couple of questions. You're going to be losing 22 parking stalls because of the drive-through. You said, is still enough parking?
Yeah, so per town code section, it's 301-231A. It's 1 stall is required for every 3 seats for a restaurant.
Friendly's had a significant, I think they had
Yes.
like 158 seats,
Yeah.
Friendly's, like a significant number of seats.
Yeah, they had 5
there's-
handicap parking spots also, now we're
Right,
down to 2.
it's a function of the total parking provided, so what we are providing is compliant with the
Yeah, I
New York
think
State Building Code.
you have more than you have 2 extra stalls you're in excess of.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah, we're actually lowering water demand, sanitary demand, because there's a total reduction in number of seats from the Friendlies to the 2 proposed restaurants. I do want to mention one thing. I was speaking to the client in preparation for today, and he is looking to possibly increase the seats in Qdoba by 8. It would still meet the parking, but it would put us right at the required. So we would then require 35 and provide 35. So we have 8 outside. Currently, there's 8 outside and 38 inside, and he's looking to put 46 inside and maintain the 8 outside. So that would be something that we would like to revise prior to the formal public hearing.
Okay.
now, you have proposed the crosswalk for the handicap on the
Correct.
west side. Is there any way of putting a crosswalk on the east side for the people that are walking, so they don't have to, you understand what I'm saying, for the safety of people walking from the 9 stalls on the east side to the entrance in front of Cordova? You see what I'm?
Yeah, I do. I can certainly pull that stop bar back a little bit. I would want to put it in front of the stop bar instead of behind it.
Well, just
So-
some type of crosswalk that the
Sure.
cars driving know that there are potential people walking through.
Sure, absolutely, we can do that.
With some type of a curb cut, so you're not stepping on a curb, something like
Yeah,
that.
we were trying to maintain a lot of landscaping, but we have an end island with a tree on it.
Right.
We have some nice.
See what I mean, Heather, right there?
Yeah.
Just something, because the people who are parking on those 9 stalls have to walk all the way to the front.
Create a little path.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to lose a little landscaping to, in that end island to
It's
create the crosswalk.
just a thought.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
You said that
That
you
makes
would
sense.
be providing 8 more spaces,
no, it was seats
seats inside the restaurant?
inside the restaurant, which would require 35 parking spaces,
Right.
of which we provide 35
You
parking
have
spaces.
35.
Yeah, they're in
Yeah.
excess parking stall wise with the seats that they're currently proposing. If they were to increase it, they would be right at their parking requirement.
One other question, in the rear of the building, is there any type of ramp, people going to be taking the garbage out from the restaurants? They also have to cross the traffic, because, you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Is there any type of sidewalk? And then a crosswalk? 'Cause otherwise, somebody,
Sure.
taking the garbage out may have to wait until one car lets them go through.
Sure, we could certainly add a little
See-
bit of a
see that?
connection and a crosswalk there, just so that the vehicles are aware. I'll also provide a little sidewalk connection in the small
Right,
island
right.
between the drive-through and the,
Because the garbage containers are all the way over on the east side of the
Yeah.
building.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the existing location that they're
Right,
looking to
right,
maintain.
right.
and just kind of take out 2 plants there and just create
This
that
side, that's what I was
connection.
thinking also.
I think
What about providing something on the east side for handicap? One of those stalls?
we could potentially do that. It's more than needed, but,
Well, just technically, if somebody wants to go to your restaurant and needs assistance, there isn't any.
there is, there's 2 spaces that are provided with a proper access.
On the west side.
On the west side,
Yeah.
with the handicap ramp and access, to the front doors. Again, I don't love crossing the drive-through, so by putting the handicap there, you're encouraging someone to park there, and they're disabled in a form, so I just felt it was safer to put them
But there's
on-
gonna be 9 other people there
Understood.
in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference? They gotta cross the traffic too.
Maybe I'll take a look at some of the other, restaurants in the area. I've looked at them on near maps just to see how
It's
the
only
drive-through
because you have
circulated.
there's 2 facilities.
Yeah. But I'll look to see where
Sure.
their stalls are located.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
That
you're,
would be a loss of one stall, so we can just tweak those parking, the seats.
No,
to
you're not
make it
losing
work.
it. Well,
You would, you'd lose a stall for the striped stall.
Yeah, you need
Right.
the accessible aisle.
Yeah, so you'd lose one parking stall, which is not a big deal. We can, if that's the board's position, we can comply.
your outdoor seating is in front of the other store.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the shape of the building and the configuration
Right,
is existing, so they're kind of, working with that condition as opposed to demolishing and modifying the structure itself. So that's.
I mean, could it go either way to where if Cordova doesn't seem that they may not be using it? Could the other store take it over? And I'm
From
just
a-
thinking,
From a
just,
health department standpoint, I
Oh.
mean, they're looking at the site as a whole, so I mean, the number of seats is the number of seats.
oh,
That's
so
what-
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't necessarily matter, but Cordova is their focus, so, and they like the outdoor seating and they want the drive-through. They don't yet know what will be the other tenant.
It's an experiment.
So, yeah,
But that's my point. It could be used for either tenant.
it could,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it
Okay.
could. I just want to mention loading.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my staff report about, where delivery vehicles would be loading and unloading and what times.
So I did speak. So typically so again, with the Cordova, they can control their deliveries a little bit more. With the tenant that they are not yet sure what will be, it's hard to do. But typically, these deliveries will come very early in the morning, and it's about a 20 to 30 minute offload for the truck to deliver. So what will most likely happen is it's going to park behind the island, behind the drive-through lane. That is a wide island. It's about 29 feet in width. So if a truck was parked there, you'd still be able to get vehicles by. You'd still be able to back out of the parking stalls. I did look at providing a loading space, which we can accommodate. It would be located on the east side of the property, opposite those 9 parking stalls, but it would eliminate the landscaping. So basically between those 2 light poles that we're showing, we would eliminate the row of shrubs and evergreens that we have there to provide the loading. So
I don't know if that would be
we
an
prefer the
I-
landscaping.
yeah.
We prefer to keep it this way, but I did want to just mention that.
Well,
if the
actually,
board-
like you just said, right along that curbing in the back,
Yeah.
because you have 28 feet, if the 8 to 10 foot width of a truck, you still have 20 feet passing.
Yeah.
But that's where that concrete pad comes in on the 2 exit doors in the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that would also take care of your loading.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, so I'm gonna extend a sidewalk from those
Yeah, I
2
would think
doors
that
out
would be a
and across.
more ideal location for someone to load and unload rather than parking
Right,
on the
right.
east side
Yeah.
and having to come all the way around.
Right.
What are the operating hours of the restaurant?
They do serve breakfast. I don't want to misquote it, so I will get back to
So they
you.
do serve breakfast.
But they do serve breakfast.
Yeah.
Good for loading. taking garbage out.
Serve 2 purposes.
Yeah.
If we don't have any other questions.
I just have one, and that it has to do with the health department.
Sure.
Have you, are you able to meet all of those requirements?
Yes, we are. We actually received the approval from Riverhead Sewer District. So I was kind of waiting for that to address the health department comments, see if there were any other comments, but we're going to be working on that next week and resubmitting back to the health department. I don't see any concerns with the comments they've
They're not are they requiring two separate lines now?
leaving the building.
Yeah.
No.
One for each building?
No, no, and they're sharing a grease trap.
Now, the fencing that's in the rear of it, you're going to be replacing all that?
No, we were not planning to replace the fencing in the rear.
That's all leaning down, it's all wavy gravy? That's,
Yeah, I mean, some of the fencing is on the tire property parcel, near where the proposed future cross access is. All of that fencing is on their property. So I mean, if that's, a property maintenance issue, we could see if code enforcement can take a look at the fence. When I was out there, the sections of the fence, there were some leaning, but I think the majority of them were where they had some of those cars stored on the other property, where they were leaning away from the Friendlies.
yeah, it's leaning, right, it's leaning into the woods there where the vacant land in the back.
remember
I think
correctly.
it's unclear who owns that fence, if it's the tire property or the subject
It's
property.
the owner of the property.
That's a
No,
separate.
My
that's a-
client is a tenant. They're leasing. They're not the owner.
I'm sorry.
The client, my client.
Oh, no, I know,
Oh.
I know. Yours, I'm talking about but the one next door, the one to the east. The property owner there owns that slice of land. He bought that. It was one of those things where he bought. And if I remember correctly, he had agreed to, with the plans, he had agreed to replace that fence. So,
So then that's his.
but it's never been done, so
Right.
the original tenant moved. So that may be a dead issue now.
Just with all the work that you're doing there, that fence, it looks so bad, you know, and it's kind of like, it's a privacy fence, but it's not really affording a lot of privacy.
Right.
It is.
I'll look at it with my client and see if maybe he wants to put a new fence in front of it. You know, I don't know that he can touch this one, but maybe
Right.
there's something that can be placed.
And now those 15 spots are going to be used more because of what you took out. I know there has to be quite a bit of maintenance done. And Heather, those lighting, are they new lighting or are they existing lighting?
The poles that are in the picture of my staff report,
Right.
that's existing. They're replacing everything. So all of the lighting fixtures as far as color, temperature, height, they'll be compliant with the dark sky code. But I think this is like one of maybe 2 or 3, I guess, former parking, the lighting that, I don't know if they fell off, if they were removed, but it's just the foundation right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the proposed lighting will be in compliance with dark skies.
Are you going to use that base? Are they going to use that base for a?
Yeah, they were going to reuse the light pole bases and just mount new poles and heads. They'll repaint them and clean them up. But
Yeah, no, I know, I remember the comments that the wires are just kind of hanging out there. Are they hot?
I didn't
No
have my
one
meter with
knows.
me, so I didn't test it.
Yeah.
I did not either.
I mean, I referred this over to engineering. Town engineer had no comments. The drainage that's on site is sufficient, based on, the new, parking configuration. And then the sewer district did send that memo, July 25th of 2024. So after the health department came back with their initial comments, the sewer district, sent their letter saying that it's located within the boundaries of the sewer district and connection is available. So, you'll be able to button up the health department. And again, my biggest thing with this site plan is the landscaping improvements. They're doing a great job sort of beefing up the landscaping along 58. There's existing hedgerows there and a couple of street trees, one of which I think is probably dead. I took a picture of it and put it in my staff report. They're willing to sort of assess that and replace it if necessary, but they're doing a nice job improving the landscaping. A lot of the foundation plantings along the outside walls of Friendlies are growing into the sidewalks, and it's not kept up very well. So as far as landscaping is concerned, it'll be a great improvement.
Even the trees that are between the KFC and the Friendlies, they need to be pruned up higher because
Yeah.
they're leaning on the cars when
And-
the cars were parked up against them.
Yeah, so those, and
We can make some notes on our plan
Yeah,
to,
to
make
prune
sure
them.
that they get pruned. As
they will
part
be
of the-
protected during construction because they're going to remain. I mean, other than that, does the board have any other questions?
Just one, Heather, at the end of what's there now, at the end of the parking on the west side, the curbing is just blacktop, half circled. Are they going to replace that with,
We were planning to maintain that condition.
maintain exactly what's there? Only because now, it looks like if you accidentally went too far, you would just go over that. It almost looks like a big speed bump on the west side.
Yeah, where they like sort of.
It's like an asphalt curb.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were planning to just maintain that condition. It's similar along the rear as well. It's just
Right.
Right.
sort of an edge of pavement, not a rolled asphalt curb. I think, because they are leasing the property and they don't own the property, is sort of their, is to maintain some of those conditions.
Right.
Anybody else have anything?
If the board is good, we'll have this on resolution for secra and then also for public hearing. I will note it's going to the ARB at the end of this month, so we'll take a look at the proposed elevation.
Sure.
I did want to just ask during ARB, the architect is out of state. Is it possible that he zooms into the ARB meeting?
I don't know if they have a Zoom component. I'll ask Matt about that
Okay.
because they're not typically recorded.
Okay.
So I'll follow up with him. He's back on Monday.
Okay. Then we're gonna have to talk about elevations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Do we have any public comments on the resolutions? So if you-
I'll move resolution number 24, which is 057, classifying unlisted action and negative declaration for SEQA, the site plan of Qdoba.
Second?
Vote, please. Mr. Zanicki?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr.
Aye.
Venero? And I'm yes. Resolution adopted.
I'll move resolution 2024-58 for Qdoba Restaurant to schedule a public hearing for the site plan application. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please. Mr. Zanicki?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Venero?
Aye.
And I'm yes. Resolution adopted.
Resolution 2024-059, Diaz and Lakeside Trailer Court, Inc., lot line modification.
Second?
Vote, please. Mr. Zanicki?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Venero? And I'm a yes. Resolution adopted.
When is the public hearing?
It would be September 5th. Yeah, so you'll have the Atrium Cafe, Qdoba, and then the lot line modification, 3 public hearings scheduled for September 5th.
Okay.
I'll move resolution 2024-060 for HK Ventures LLC, granting a 6-month extension of the preliminary site plan approval. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please. Mr. Zanicki?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Mr. Venero?
Aye.
And I'm a yes. Resolution adopted. Okay. Any public comments on matters?
Do we have the minutes of the,
July.
can we approve the minutes of July 18th?
So moved.
Second.
Vote. Mr. Zanicki?
Yes.
Mr. Bear?
Yes.
Aye.
Venero? I'm a yes. Adopt. Any other business? Correspondence? Okay, our next meeting is going to be Thursday, September 5th, 2024 at 6 PM. Motion to close?
So moved.
Aye.
Aye.
Hey, we didn't have this now? We didn't have this now.